The date is April 7th, 1986. The air in the Nassau Coliseum is heavy with anticipation, a tangible hum of thousands of voices converging into a single fervent roar. This is WrestleMania 2, a grand spectacle spread across 3 cities, and here, on Long Island, the atmosphere is electric. Inside the squared circle, a primal force of nature, George the Animal Steele, stands poised, his back a matted expanse of dark hair, his bald head gleaming under the arena lights. He's about to face one of the Federation's most dynamic and volatile champions, Macho Man Randy Savage, for the Intercontinental Championship. This isn't just any match, it's a narrative masterpiece, the height of Federation theater. George, the furry green-tongued enigma, has developed an almost childlike infatuation with Savage's stunning valet, Miss Elizabeth. It's a storyline that blurs the lines between kayfabe and genuine emotion, making the audience lean in, invested in every longing gaze, every frustrated grunt from the animal. They see a beast, driven by instinct, captivated by beauty, a tragicomic figure whose devotion to Elizabeth elicits both laughter and surprising empathy. The crowd, a sea of impassioned fans, knows George Steele as a simpleton, a wild man whose vocabulary is limited to guttural sounds, whose actions are pure, untamed impulse. He tears turnbuckles with his teeth, flashes a disconcertingly green tongue, and lumbers around the ring like a creature from a forgotten age. Yet here's the profound irony, the captivating paradox at the heart of George the Animal Steele. The man portraying this caveman dunce, this primal force, was a scholar. He was a high school teacher, a coach, and held a master's degree. William James Myers, the man behind the green tongue, was in fact smarter than nearly all his counterparts in the locker room, a brilliant mind who meticulously crafted and honed a character designed to appear utterly devoid of intellect. He played the fool, not out of ignorance, but out of genius. This is the story of how Vince McMahon made him into a freak for the masses, but beneath the fur and the grunts remained a sharp, incisive intellect. William James Myers was born on April 16, 1937, in Detroit, Michigan, a blue-collar city where grit and determination were forged in equal measure. His early life was not without its challenges. He grappled with dyslexia, a learning disability that could have easily derailed his academic ambitions. But Myers was no stranger to perseverance. He tackled his struggles head-on, transforming what could have been a hindrance into a testament to his resilience. He excelled in athletics, finding success in track, baseball, basketball, and most notably, football. In 1956, he entered Michigan State University as a football player for the Spartans, only for his gridiron dreams to be cut short by knee problems. Despite this setback, Myers continued his academic pursuits, earning a Bachelor of Science degree from Michigan State and later a master's degree from Central Michigan University. His true calling outside the squared circle lay in education. Myers became a respected teacher, a dedicated amateur wrestling coach, and a football coach at Madison High School in Madison Heights, Michigan. He was so impactful in his role that he would eventually be inducted into the Michigan Coaches Hall of Fame. It was a life of quiet dedication, shaping young minds, far removed from the boisterous, often bizarre world of professional wrestling. But the siren song of the squared circle beckoned. Looking to supplement his modest teacher's income, Myers ventured into the rough and tumble world of Detroit area professional wrestling. To protect his privacy and maintain his respectable image as an educator, he began his wrestling career under a mask, adopting the moniker of the Student. Managed by the cunning Gary Hart, the Student was presented as a raw, untamed force, unable to apply legitimate holds, relying solely on brute strength. This early iteration hinted at the wildness to come, but still, Myers was articulate, able to cut promos and engage with audiences in a way that belied the later animal persona. His unique blend of intensity and power quickly caught the eye of Worldwide Wrestling Federation champion Bruno Sammartino. In 1967, Myers was invited to work in Pittsburgh on the popular studio wrestling television show. Sammartino saw potential in the wild man character Myers was cultivating. He suggested Myers drop the mask, but maintain the aura of untamed power. Seeking to obscure his real name, Myers opted for the alias George Steele. His early run in the Federation saw him working closely with Bruno Sammartino. Initially, Steele played a more grounded heel, boasting an extensive amateur wrestling background. He sold this story by employing an array of arm locks, weakening opponents for his signature flying hammerlock submission. He wrestled Bruno Sammartino to an hour-long draw at Madison Square Garden, a testament to his early credibility as a formidable opponent. He even secured a rare, clean victory over the popular babyface Victor Rivera at a major outdoor show at Fenway Park. However, after feuding with Chief Jay Strongbow and a loss to Edouard Carpentier, Steele took a hiatus, recognizing the need to truly define and reinvent his wildman character. And reinvent he did. What emerged was the persona that would become an indelible icon of professional wrestling. This new iteration was a true crazy heel, a snarling, unhinged presence who would tear the turnbuckle apart with his teeth, using the stuffing as a weapon. His signature green tongue, achieved by eating green Clores breath mints just before interviews and matches, became a grotesque, fascinating hallmark. With a stooped posture and a hairless head contrasting sharply with the thick mat of fur on his back, commentators began to speculate that the animal was indeed the missing link, a creature more instinctual than intellectual. His vocabulary diminished to little more than guttural grunts. As Steele himself recalled in a later shoot interview, his infamous interview style came about almost accidentally, born of frustration. Early in the 1980s, Steele, a man who prided himself on his eloquent and effective promos, was cutting one such promo. Vince McMahon, ever the visionary, interrupted him. McMahon reminded Steele that his gimmick was the animal, and for an animal, he was making too much sense. Steele, out of pure frustration, did a second take, deliberately spewing nothing but garbled, incoherent syllables. He fully expected McMahon to relent and allow him to return to his articulate promos. To Steele's shock, McMahon's reaction was ecstatic. From that moment on, the style became George Steele's trademark, a testament to his commitment to the character even when it meant stifling his own formidable verbal skills. He fully embraced the persona of the menacing imbecile and in doing so achieved unprecedented levels of popularity. As the 1980s wrestling boom exploded, George Steele became one of its most recognizable and beloved figures. His transformation from a terrifying heel to a lovable, if still unpredictable, fan favorite began with Saturday night's main event. In a six-man tag match, his partners Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik abandoned him, leaving him vulnerable to Ricky Steamboat and the US Express. Following the loss, the venerable Captain Lou Albano, known for his eccentric management style, took the animal under his wing, offering comfort and guidance. This pivotal moment cemented Steele's face turn, and the audience, which had grown accustomed to his bizarre antics, now found themselves cheering for him. His most iconic feud, however, was yet to come. In 1986, George Steele developed a crush on Randy Savage's stunning valet, Miss Elizabeth. This storyline, initially conceived to last only a few months, became an absolute sensation, captivating audiences and extending well into 1987. The dynamic was pure gold. Savage, notoriously protective and jealous of Elizabeth in real life, found himself battling a monstrous yet surprisingly endearing rival for her affections. Steele, with his wide-eyed, almost innocent infatuation, brought a comedic and sympathetic element to the feud. He would later humorously recall assuring Savage that his fascination was purely for the show, noting he had a daughter older than Elizabeth, and that Savage was perhaps the most jealous man he ever met. This storyline culminated in a memorable moment at WrestleMania 3, during Savage's Intercontinental Championship match against Ricky Steamboat. Steele, in Steamboat's corner, interfered twice, first preventing Savage from using the ring bell as a weapon, and then, after being kicked, shoving Savage off the top rope. It was a perfectly executed piece of storytelling, with Steele playing his part to perfection. By 1988, Steele's career began to wind down due to health issues. He started carrying a stuffed animal to the ring, a further softening of his wild persona, endearing him to younger fans. He participated in the WrestleMania 4 Battle Royal, though a knee injury sustained at a house show prior to the event kept him outside the ring for most of the match. Later that year, Steele retired from active competition after being diagnosed with Crohn's disease. However, his association with the Federation didn't end there. He transitioned into a role as a road agent, working behind the scenes until budget cuts led to his release in October 1990. but he was soon rehired, continuing to serve as an agent throughout the 1990s. Though he never held a championship in the Federation, George Steele's impact was undeniable. His unique character, his commitment to the gimmick, and his surprising depth made him one of the most recognized and popular figures in Federation history, leading to his well-deserved induction into the Hall of Fame class of 1995. Beyond the ring, William James Myers continued to showcase his diverse talents. In 1994, he made his professional acting debut, earning critical acclaim for his portrayal of Swedish wrestler-turned-actor Tor Johnson in Tim Burton's biographical film Ed Wood. In 2013, Myers released his book, Animal, offering readers an intimate look into his life, both inside and outside the ring. It was a chance for him to share his story, to show the world that he was so much more than just a gimmick. He was a complex, intelligent man who deliberately chose to inhabit a simple, primal persona. On February 16, 2017, William James Myers, the man known to millions as George the Animal Steele, sadly passed away in hospice care due to kidney failure at the age of 79. May he rest in peace.